Welcome to Kind of Wokish. You
What's
already
up?
know. You already know what it's about to be. I'm Victoria,
I'm Kiana.
I'm shy.
and number one, it's been a while since we've uploaded. I'm sure all seven of you care so much. And
You know,
number
three were us.
right, three of them are us.
All four of you.
Well, I
All four of you,
definitely care.
right? You all four of you care so much. That's neither here nor there. Actually, it is five because I'm not subscribed. But um,
Fake fan. Fake
neither.
fan.
Look, man, that's neither here nor there. In all honesty, so it's been a while since we recorded. Sorry about it, but we're back and we're gonna do better about this. But fuck all that. Let's talk about what's really important. What's popping right now? Mm, how do I describe what's going on in the world? Shit,
Yeah, basically. Say it again, just real quick.
Right, just one more
Sh-
time.
shit. It's SHYIIT. Shit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
let's
Know
see.
who
We
win in the
have.
spelling bee.
Mhm. Actually, we're not even gonna get into that story. That's a story for another day. Um, all right. Well, we've experienced in most recent days the sad passing of George Floyd and
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. There's a long list of names that I'm not mentally or even physically prepared to list off. I will put up a picture of the people we have lost because there is a collage. Um, Number one, our deepest condolences to the families of these people. The point of today's podcast is not only to discuss how disgusting these things are, but in general to discuss what it is like being Black in America, which I don't even know where to start with that one.
Mm.
This word is hard. It's hard being Black in America.
It's like you said, you don't even know where you want to begin with that because it's such a weird experience. But it's not like
Mhm.
you're constantly upset, but you also are very constantly upset. You're always at this kind of anxious feeling all the time. And then some days it's lower and some days it's extremely high. Things that like you think about on a daily and you meet someone that doesn't have to deal with it. You're like, whoa, people like whole live life not thinking about the fact that they have a different skin color.
My younger brother, he was in a class and they asked each person to describe themselves, and only the people of color mentioned their race,
Wow.
Wow.
which says that the white people are not made aware of their skin color because, in a sense, as far as society goes, white people are in quote the majority. Now, this isn't a bash white people uh podcast. That's not what we're doing here. I just wanted to make mention of that. It's pretty damn interesting.
It's not, their skin color isn't kind of tied with their existence as a people. So when you just like describe yourself, skin color or white people's skin color isn't even a thought. It's kind of a thing where it's like, well, it's fairly obvious. It's kind of how people take character design, um, like superheroes or anything, or like video game design of characters, and how you're kind of the default white person. Then you have to make them a race, you have to make them into a race, and then like, and that's when the race matters. Now it's like, oh, this is a superhero, but now it's a black instead of just a superhero.
Question to try to maybe start. When did you realize you were Black? That sounds like a weird question. When did you like real? When was like abundantly clear? Oh, I'm Black. I'm different.
Uh, mm,
I I don't really. I don't think I ever had that realization that I was Black. Mostly because up until third or fourth grade, I went to a majority Black school, so it wasn't I just saw a bunch of kids that looked like me. I didn't recognize my race.
Really?
I think for me it was as soon as I moved to North Carolina, because I came from New York, and not that there was like not white people in New York or at my school, but there was also there's always been just a mix of people there, so I don't think this was ever a thought. Again, not that there's like not racism in New York or up north, there is, but in the area that I was around, there was just a whole bunch of different types of people, so it never occurred to me that it didn't look the same, other than like, oh, that person has like blonde hair, or person like it's weird because like, yeah, you recognize skin tone, but it was kind of just like another attribute. Like if I were to describe them, I would be able to say that they had like they're tan, they're white or whatever, but it wasn't like a race thing, if that makes sense. Not they're white as a race, just that they're white as in that's just their skin color. But it wasn't until I moved down south where it was like, oh, like black, like as the race black. Or like when I moved down, I was like one of 3 black children in the school that I had to go to. Only, well, and I even meet the other black person. I only saw one of them. Uh, when we came to like orientation, this kid's father, the black kid's father, came up to us and he was like, "Oh my God, thank you. There's finally someone else here." And I think it's like when I realized, like, oh, I'm like black.
Wow.
That's
I'm
And
funny.
like
black.
I'm like black,
like, oh, like I'm black, and like it's about to matter.
right?
And
Because
It's
hashtag Black
about to
Lives
make a
Matter.
difference.
from then on, it was just, oh yeah, you're different, and they are not about to let you not know it. You're gonna get all these questions that you've never even had to really think about. These very very annoying questions, by the way. Um, especially if you have to keep getting asked, like, yeah, it's like, is that your hair? Like, is that your real hair? And
Oh my God. That shit. Or that
That
stuff.
question.
Yeah. You said you have a question?
I said that question.
Oh, that
oh
question. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like come to school one day with your hair in a ponytail, the next day you have braids. Oh my God, your braids, your hair is so long.
White
Yeah,
male
right.
teacher.
right.
I mean,
White male teacher, cool
hey, cool
hair.
hair.
Hey, cool hair.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Cool hair.
Hi, how are you?
like that. Yeah. It's like it's especially at that age. I think at that age when they're all young, and the questions don't really. It's not. It's annoying now thinking about it, but their questions are really innocent, and they don't really mean anything by it. You're probably just the first black person they've ever seen, not ever seen, but like up close and personal, and it doesn't bother you when you're a kid. It's about high school age. They start learning their bigotry, their prejudice.
Or they start coming
It
into it
gets
more. Stuff like they learn it from a young age. They just start becoming more confident.
right. And it becomes like, oh, it's like when they realize, like, oh, you're black, and also I'm starting to feel like I'm better than you because of that
Yeah.
aspect.
So
They
because
start
you're
coming
black,
into
I
that,
shouldn't.
and we get some issues.
Mm,
What about you, Shy?
yeah, I was about to
With-
ask.
And that's when
You?
I realized I was black. I'm kidding. But mine's a little different. I grew up in a really, really small town. Like the population, well, really, really small. Population was like 3,000. But it was huge. The population was 3,000, and it was mostly white. It's predominantly white in the middle, up in the mountains. And I realized, I think one of my earliest memories, like I feel like I've always known I was black because of that. Because I grew up in a very small town, very racist town. One of my earliest memories was when I wanted to play Sailor Moon with these girls, and they told me I couldn't because Sailor Moon didn't have any black characters. And first of all, they didn't have any white ones either. They're all Japanese, but I digress. I didn't know that, but I was told I couldn't play because they didn't have any black characters, and that has stuck with me my entire life. Clearly, because I still remember it. I was like 4 or 5. That's like one of the earliest memories of me realizing that I was black, like I was different, or that I can remember. Because I can remember it. Because growing up where I grew up, you always knew. They would make sure that you knew, and
It's true. They really would make sure that you like understood your
like that
place,
you're
so to
different
speak.
and that you're below me, like you are
Yeah,
less than me.
would go out their way to do.
And it's wild. Like, what do you mean you don't tell a kid you can't play because there's no characters that look like there's no black characters? Now, you think about it as children, like kids don't really think about that. So somebody had to teach them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I played pretend as all types of characters. I think I was Kimberly from the Power Rangers for the longest time, and then I realized that the Yellow Ranger looked like me, and then I wanted to be her. Like, but I didn't know what they looked like. I just knew they were Power Rangers. They were in suit. It didn't matter what they looked like to me. And then it became, after that, it was like, oh, well, any show that has a black character, I automatically have to be the black character, even if I don't like the black character. Like,
Right.
Me and my cousins watched the Cheetah Girls growing up, and it was 4 of us. This was when I still lived in a small town. It was 4 of us, and me and one of my cousins would argue about who got to be Aqua from the Cheetah Girls, because one of my cousins was always Raven, and then one girl was Adrian, because Adrian wasn't black, but she wasn't white, you know? And then it was between me and my other cousin, who was like, oh, well, you can, I think we just thought Adrian was light skinned. That's a different story. It was between who was Dorinda, the white one, or Aqua. And I thought I had to be Aqua because I was black. And I remember they wouldn't let me be Aqua, and I cried because I didn't want to be Dorinda. I was like, I can't be her. She doesn't look like me. And it was from like, so I realized I was black from wanting to play pretend. And then that changed how I played pretend forever. And now now I became hyper aware of the color of my skin at all times through situations like that.
Right.
Oh, here's a question, a thought that I just had. You asked, the question was, when did you realize you were black? Now, when did you realize, each of us realized, that being black basically automatically puts you in danger? I have a distinct memory.
Oh, I was taught that. I remember being told, like, oh, well, you can't, like, they were telling my brothers, oh, you can't go in the store with your hands in your pockets and stuff like that. But I remember when somebody told me that I talked white, that I spoke white, made me realize that being black was wrong, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you talk like a white girl, you're an Oreo. Or did the whole ghetto black girl thing. I think, like, that's one of those things I've always known to be wrong. Like I said, that, oh, being black is wrong because I grew up in a town like that. That's just what it was for me.
Okay. What about you, Victoria?
Granted, yeah, I think I also grew up with the, like, don't hands in your pockets, XYZ. But it wasn't really any of that. I think I was like 7 or 8. I was watching the first 48, or not the first 48, one of those like ID channel things, and a little black girl went missing. And the detective verbatim said it's probably going to be harder to find her because they don't look for black girls as the way they should. Like, they're not going to look for her as hard as they would if they're looking for a white girl. And I remember I kind of just was sitting there and I was really thinking about it. I was like, why? I couldn't really grasp an understanding of why. And it really took me until I was like 14, like, to really understand why. But I was like 7 or 8 when I realized, like, oh, like, if something bad happens to me, they're not going to look for me. They're not going to care as much.
Right.
I don't know.
Wow.
That made my heart hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I stay my ass home.
Like, I mean, that's real good reason to just be like, I'm gonna chill right where I'm at. That's
yeah,
very
that
frustrating. Like, I'm a little
irritated.
You should be frustrated because it is. But that was just like me realizing, snap, like, I go missing.
They really won't care if I get hurt, if I
they're not
go
gonna
missing
care.
or whatever.
Or and
It's
one of the
literally
reasons that they gave was they were like, a black girl would run away, a white girl would get taken. And legit, at 8, I remember being like, or they both got taken.
right.
Yeah.
Like, are we just not valuable enough?
Even if they did run away, that doesn't mean that they're not worth finding.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're not
don't
worth finding,
matter.
and doesn't mean that they don't want to be found. Like, y'all,
Yeah.
hey, Kiana, your experience. Sorry.
Honestly, I had to. It's a little weird because I'm like half a only child, half not. So it's not like I had that talk of to do around police or like any of that. So I really went a long time without knowing anything. Like I knew that my mom didn't like the police. I never understood the race aspect of it. I always understood the power difference aspect, which, like, race is a power difference, right? But talking about power distance of a citizen to another authority figure. Because the police will mess with just about anybody that they can. It just happens that black people to be the ones that are most messed with, right? But I never. It was. I had to learn it on my own. It wasn't. It wasn't through. Oh no! I had to have been probably in high school. Bless
Right.
you. When like that's when you mostly start seeing a lot of activism, and then you start meeting a whole bunch of people. I had to learn it on my own, and then it was only after I started learning it and started actually getting angry about it that I would hear about how my own family was affected by racism. But it's a little bit different because my my family is Puerto Rican, as you know, and they don't look like people, but they
Right.
look Hispanic, so they also get, the same similar treatment. So I never felt like me personally was ever in danger. But I never had that feeling of me personally being in danger until I had to learn how uh how like people treated black women and black men. And even now I don't necessarily always feel I don't feel danger for myself personally. I have feel danger for other people. But yeah, like I feel danger for my brothers and my father, but I had to learn that they were in danger because of their race. Like I've heard the stories of how the cops have, roughed up my dad and my brother for being at a job site, because they just thought that they weren't supposed to be working there, and I've had to learn how, like, my uncle was actually in the same position as George Floyd, getting attacked by the police and having a knee on his neck and him not being able to breathe. And it's literally just like, I guess by the grace of God, that police actually listened to him about that. And it's like it's like even though I know it from like an academic point of view, it's like it still kind of boggles my mind about how much in danger we all are. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know that makes sense. Now,
So I can't remember. I'd have to have been in high school when it actually clicked that we were in danger. Not that I didn't know that like racism was real and that I was different from everybody else, but it never like fully clicked that we were in danger
right.
or our skin color.
Regard to specifically, guess. Let's talk about George Floyd very, very briefly. Because which we can't literally, we do not have time to touch on every single death. We don't. Um, but I don't want Miss Taylor to be over overshadowed either.
Yeah,
Um,
they need to get on working on charging her
case
officers because they literally
they are.
murdered her.
Oh yeah.
There's a thing going around. They're trying to get them arrested.
Her birthday was just her birthday's tomorrow, and I went to a peaceful protest today, which is ridiculous that I have to specify that it was peaceful. I went to a peaceful protest today, and during the protest, we actually sang her happy birthday, and I cried because her birthday was
Wow.
supposed to be tomorrow, and she was supposed to be 27, and I don't know why that was so powerful, but
I mean, because she didn't make it. That's
she didn't, and it was just
through no fault of her own. She didn't make it just because.
we know why.
Yeah.
Hmm. Now, in regard to George Floyd, because what's interesting, at least from where I stand, what's interesting is that obviously there should really only be one side because no matter how you look at it, it's murder.
Yeah,
There's no
Yeah.
way to look at it the other way. But I've seen, and I just want to, obviously, it's not even an opinion. Y'all are just going to be mad. But there have been people who are saying, he was, this man was doing in kneeling on his neck for 8 minutes and 47 seconds was protocol.
Two other officers kneeled
was
on his
protocol.
back.
Right, was protocol. I want them to show me the fucking protocol. I'm trying to stop cursing right now. I don't care. Show me the fucking protocol. Show me in that work was used for 8 weeks. to get your damn police license. Show me the fucking protocol where you're supposed to lean on a man's neck and he can't breathe and he wasn't resisting arrest. Nothing was forged. Like, he would actually use a real $20 bill. Please show me. Please show me in procedure where it says you can pin an innocent man on the ground 8 minutes till he's stopped moving and dying. I want to see it. I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be waiting for another 400 years before they ever get the fact that
I'll
it took all 50 states a whole bunch of days
50 states and 18 countries protesting.
Get 4 officers
and hundreds of people being arrested, hundreds of innocent people protesting inequality to be arrested, as well as them trying to make Black Lives Matter a terrorist group in the Philippines for them to arrest 4 officers
and charge them. That's just for one murder. All is so unwilling to do what's morally, ethically, and legally correct.
Yeah, like not stand on people's necks. How hard is that?
And not
or
murder.
like punish people for murder. Like no matter what, like cop or not, still murder.
Yeah, murder.
So punish for that.
When you kill somebody, as we know, at least this is what I taught when I grew up.
If a citizen, and I can't even say that because they killed Ahmaud Arbery and they were citizens. It took them this long for them to get charged. So
they can't even charge them with a hate crime. It doesn't exist.
They can't even charge them with a hate crime.
In fucking Georgia, that doesn't exist. I don't understand that shit. What do you mean it does? Right, Mochi? Mochi agrees. What do you mean it doesn't exist? What do you mean we don't have a law against racial inequality and hate crimes? What do you mean that's not a thing?
Like 400 years, and you telling me hate crimes never existed in Georgia?
Right, like we are in the fucking South. Like hate crimes happen every damn day.
Now, I want to say he's the reason for the protest. He is not the reason. He is sadly, another fallen innocent person. Just no reason at all to be gone. No reason that his children and his family have to be without him. No reason, along with Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. No reason. But as far as these protests go, and as Black people, but as far as the protests go, how do you feel about the way, like, the reactions we're gaining? Obviously, we feel good about the protesting because it's very necessary. But the reactions, both positive and negative, how do you feel?
I can't even get mad at them for being angry or not angry. Like I can't sit here and be like, I condemn you for being upset, wreaking havoc, just wanting to fight stuff and burn stuff. What I can say is that I completely understand for those who are actually liking things and are actually a part of the protest and aren't just trying to incite riots. Those people, not the people. Completely understand your anger. Not gonna tell you should do in the sense of like you're doing everything wrong and you're a bad person. But I can say is that you need to regroup, to take a breather and plan how you want to change this. Not that you're wrong for, wanting to break things and all your anger out. However, there is other ways to divert your energy, and honestly, you could break other people's buildings, not in your neighborhood. But I'm not going to say that. That's a joke. For all legal purposes, that is a joke that I just said.
Ha 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 ha. Funny. That joke was funny.
You just need to regroup. You just need to stay home for a second, not to protest, but stay home, make a plan, and then go for it. But I can like in my heart of hearts, I cannot sit here and condemn any of these people for being upset.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's not, the most helpful place, personally.
I will say this. I know that there's a good number of the riots that aren't like Black Lives Matter centered. They aren't. I know that some of them are like people taking advantage of the situation.
Right.
But like you said, I like the people who are rioting and not, I want to say for the right reason, but you know what I mean, who aren't taking advantage of the situation, who are actually angry. I also can't condemn or get angry at those people. It's been 400 years of slavery and systematic oppression. I just watched the 13th on Netflix, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I knew but I didn't realize I knew. Like I learned in school that I didn't put two and two together. You know,
Right.
well, things I had to learn on my own because there's hella stuff they didn't teach us in school, and I had to use my mom's African American studies, college level African American studies textbook to learn these things when I was in grade. But that's neither here nor there. Now I can't condemn them. Like I said, 400 years systematic oppression and abuse and slavery. Would you not also be angry? And what happened? Like we go there peacefully. You know, we go there sitting and singing. Like I told you today, we sang happy birthday to Breonna Taylor because tomorrow would have been her 27th birthday. Stuff like that. Like luckily everything was fine for us. We talked to the police station and they actually were there to make sure nobody hurt anything, but they didn't even bother us. But like when we're sitting there peacefully protesting and police officers spray tear gas, shoot rubber bullets, and maze people, arrest people, tase people who aren't doing anything, what do you expect to happen? You get shot in the face, you're gonna be like, oh, thank you, Mr. Officer. Kumbaya, my love. I don't understand what they want us to do. Like, you want us to just, I don't get it. So, no,
It
I don't.
seems as though they want, what they really want is, okay, let me not say something out of turn. Go ahead, continue.
I can't be mad at them. I'm not mad at them. I don't think that we should be rioting. But if you rioted, you have every right to. Like,
Right.
Because white people riot for less. They riot because their favorite football team won. Like, America was built on riot.
Won and or loss. You riot because your team won.
Right. I'm specifying because they won because you're supposed to be happy. Like,
you're so happy that you decided to flip a police car over and set everything on fire. Like, how?
Right. So it's like, and then they caught looters on camera, and a lot of them are white people too. So I was like, I don't know what exactly you want, what people are trying to like to do. I get it. You're worried. Oh my God, my stuff's gonna get stolen. Oh my God, the businesses. But like, these people are more angry about the loss of property than the loss of life, and that's where my anger settles. That's what I'm mad at. When I go on Facebook and people have the audacity, people who didn't speak out, mind you, people who did not say a word about Ahmaud Arbery, who didn't say a word about Breonna Taylor, who didn't say a word about George Floyd, even people like way back when Trayvon Martin passed away, or any of the other way too many black people whose lives we've lost in the course of this fight, said nothing. Had the audacity, the gall, the gumption to make a post saying Martin Luther King, he protested peacefully. He didn't do riots. He didn't do, and he changed the world. I'm like, first of fucking all, bitch.
Again, it's with these people that heard I Have a Dream once in middle school, had to write one paper, was a paragraph long about it. They think they know Martin Luther King, like they're best friends. They literally listen to I Have a Dream speech once, write one paragraph paper on it, and they think that MLK is their best friend. They understand.
No, they watched My Friend Martin. They watched My Friend Martin and filled out the worksheet, and they were like, you know what?
I know. And have y'all seen how they were trying to tell Martin Luther King Jr.'s kids what Martin Luther King Jr. meant for protest?
They're over here like, sir, I don't think you knew, but we kind of grew up with him.
I'm sorry, but my dad used to tell me, like, I don't understand. People really be out here trying to tell people that,
like, if y'all don't know, Martin Luther King also never condemned rioting. He told y'all that it was finna happen if you don't do what's right. People are gonna get angry. So, homie, if he were alive, because remember, y'all killed him. Peaceful protesting, but y'all whole killed him.
Right.
If he were to have lived, he would not be with y'all condemning the rioting. He wouldn't. Because, I mean, talking about these 60 plus years in Jim Crow, and we're dealing with these same things, like literally from the time that he was protesting to now, and we're still dealing with the exact same, like nothing changed. And we're supposed to believe that he would have been like, oh yeah, this peaceful protesting is working. Like,
it's real funny how they'll be like, Martin Luther King changed the world. Yeah, sure, he did. He definitely aided in a few, which now seem very small, but they are very major victories for Black people. number one, Martin Luther King, when he died, was after he was dead, mind you, he was still the most hated man in America on a vote.
Exactly.
So before y'all like, oh, I love Martin Luther King. Yeah, cool. We love him too. But homie would have been right with us. Bill Cosby's in jail talking about it. So and he was
In
America's
jail,
dad.
homie's locked up.
What kills me is that after he got shot and killed, peacefully protesting, after he got shot and killed, and there was riots, and then after those riots is when the Civil Rights Act.
And only then, we fucking
it's really
saw
the peaceful
King.
protesting with the threat of violence that gets things done, not just peaceful protest. Because if peaceful protesting listened, we would not be protesting anything. If we could just sit here and be like, you know what, this is wrong and we don't agree and we need you to change stuff, and they're like, oh, you know what, you're completely correct, we're gonna change things. No, nobody would be protesting anything. If you could just sit here and sit outside and write all your people and be like, hey, this is wrong, and they were like, yeah, no, what, we didn't see it now before, but we see it now because you peacefully asked us to change it and we're gonna change it. Like, no. It was like, you cannot come out your mouth saying anything about how to protest anything. Like, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's those same people.
I just want to say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, because we skipped me. I just wanted to be a part of the conversation.
I apologize.
Y'all went off, and I'm like, no, y'all went off, and I'm literally in my room with my hand up, like it's in my. It happens every time.
Teacher, I got a question.
I'm like, I just want to talk about the riots, not the riots. I do want to genuinely discuss the protesting, because from where I stand, yes, protesting is necessary. It has to happen. It's supposed to be happening. Simply because if nobody says anything, nothing's gonna get done. But as far as the riots go and the looting and the breaking up the buildings, part of me feels like, look, you brought us here. We built the country. I'll be damned if I can't tear it down. We built it for free. At the same time, I kind of feel like
we paid in blood and spirits.
Exactly. But at the same time, I kind of feel like we built this country. We shouldn't tear it down. That's like you building a house and then tearing it down. It's not exactly proactive. That's not really helping anything. And also, as far as the riots and stuff go, people are getting hurt on both ends, more so our end than their end. My aunt in New York, she is not a police officer. She just works in the police building, and she wears a shield. And police right now are not this they ain't safe. Nobody's safe. Am I on that Blue Lives Matter tip? Absolutely not. Because please explain to me what a blue life is. You're not a part of the Blue Man Group. Right. You're not a Smurf. You're not a part of the Blue Man Group. You're not Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So what is a blue life? And I want to see on your license where it says that you are blue.
Right. First of all, sis, you better preach. Show me. Where's your license? I want to see the birth certificate.
I got questions, Maury.
Note? Sorry.
It's fine. I got questions, Maury. I want to see. Y'all want to hear some fuck shit I just read? Like, literally, as we speak, I just read it.
What?
All right. So this is on Facebook. I'm not going to say the person's name. We don't know this person. But it says, it's about how blacks pissed. There needs to be a comma or there's words missing. It's about how blacks pissed at the dominant race. You won't ever get to the same level as white people by trying to disrespect us like that. Let's not forget, it wasn't long ago that you were our slaves. It could happen again if you don't stay in your place.
Oh, could it?
Right. So next to it. I need somebody to drop the Addy. I just want to talk. I'll bake her a cookie or two.
I'd like for him to show me how it could happen.
Right. I'll drop the Addy. I just want to talk.
You're trying to tell me what's so funny is that she said it with the thinking face, like, you better get your act straight.
Right.
First of all, Susan, Chrysanthemum, whatever your name is, I'll beat your ass to the white meat.
To the whiter meat.
Right. I'll look. All right. I'll
I
be
like how
jazz to
y'all
the
got
white man. You're
violent. Well,
not gonna
not
come
violent
up in
people,
here.
but like, sis, first of all, like you said, you're not gonna roll up with all this gumption, all this gall, all this boldness in your chest and not get your lights knocked out.
Right.
Like, I don't know what you
Right.
thought
Like
this
she acts
was.
like if she said this, it's funny because she wrote it on Facebook. You know full well she's not saying that to no black person. So it's like
Oh
I can't even
no.
get mad because she would have been in the middle of her non-sentence and just got
Nonsense.
directly in her chest.
So like, people are just bold for no damn reason, awful for no damn reason, and of course,
Only on Facebook though.
only on Facebook, which doesn't make sense. Facebook is the most connected. Like Twitter, okay, it's still not okay, but it's more understandable. Like Snapchat and Facebook are directly connected to your life. You know,
Yeah,
even
like they be
Instagram is a
whole
little
having their
iffy.
whole jobs on there and then
Jobs, location,
then be
school.
like surprise Pikachu face when they get fired the next
Like what? What do you mean I don't
What?
have a job for hate crimes? I just said they need to stay in their place.
Right. How dare
Everybody was
you?
thinking it.
All I said was that slavery's gonna happen again and the whites will rise. I don't understand.
The whites will rise. Oh my god, I hate it here. I mean, I love it here. I mean, nope, I don't know.
Yo, I'm dead crying.
Yo, I gotta pee. Yo,
We have to summarize it.
we gotta end somewhere. This started up as a serious conversation.
Okay, I'll start.
The sound,
Um,
Kiana, did you?
like, right. Mitch, are you playing with the Ouija board? Are you okay?
Is that what a Luigi board sounds like?
A
That's
Luigi
exactly
board?
little Waluigi board sounds like.
I must say it's a Luigi board, first of all.
But
Swine.
I will summarize so we can all. I do want us each to share something, but I will say this podcast, this particular episode, is called "What It's Like Being Black in America." Now, from my perspective, being Black in America is quite literally the scariest thing on earth. Some people are scared of monsters, other people are scared of demons. The fact that we every single day of our lives we are at risk simply because we woke up Black, we were born Black, we grew up Black, that's horrifying. Being Black is a beautiful thing, which that's another episode. But and what we just did, which some of it's cut out, but we were just laughing and trying to make light of the situation as best we could. That to me is being Black. And not necessarily comedy in itself. Black people have always had to make a good situation out of a hard time because we didn't have anything else. And we still don't have anything else except for protesting. And even then, that's still trying to be taken from us. And it's being Black is just very difficult. And I want to just kind of say, y'all remember when Danielle Bugogi was like, she was like, who wants to be Black? Who wants to be Black? And everyone was like, you do, right? Like you want to be Black apparently because you're emulating us, you're using our culture, XYZ. But then I had the thought, what's funny is everybody that's not Black wants to be Black. All the Black people are scared to be Black.
Right.
Now,
Right.
how does that make any sense? It's to the point. I'm personally to the point now where I've come to realize and understand that me being Black, my brothers being Black, and my family being Black, and my best friends in the entire world being Black, it's a blessing. I love it. I walk with a lot of fear in my heart constantly. I'm scared that my brothers aren't going to come home. Scared that my dad might not come home. I am constantly worried that one of y'all ain't gonna make it home from work. You're gonna get stopped in your car or something. That it's being Black is hard.
I mean, I guess, cause I can say this. I've been thinking about this. Cause you keep saying like, oh, when you say all lives matter versus Black lives matter, this is what it's like, and it's talking about, oh, if this person broke their leg, this person trying to help them, like, oh, get them help, their leg is broken, and the person's like, oh, what about my leg? You know, and they're like, it's fine. Now, with that analogy in mind, I'll say it's like being Black in America is like having a broken leg and asking for help, and people telling you you're fine, your leg's not broken. Hey, climb that tree, but my leg is broken. You're fine. I climb the tree by myself all the time, but your leg isn't broken. That's just an excuse. You're fine. You know, like being told constantly that the damage that's done to us, to our system, to our bodies, is not enough. Like even me earlier, like I told you guys, I got like chewed out on Twitter for just saying that a group that I like, they spoke out against racial inequality, and they said Black Lives Matter, and a whole lot of people got upset. And I'm just like, it's not wrong for you to want people you look up to stand up for you. And all people could do is tell me, well, it only matters because you're American and this, that, and the other. It's like, you don't get to do blah, 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 and all you want to do is blah, blah, blah. It's like discrediting what I'm going through because I'm American and Black. Because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm American, my life is so hard. But like, being Black in America is your problems double don't matter, because people expect, because you're American, that everything's already perfect, or that you already have some sort of supremacy. I'm not saying that there isn't a little bit there, but not what we believe we are. But people treat us as if we are, unless we're Black.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to make that thought cohesive, like condense that. It's just, I got yelled at for saying that I was happy that a group that I look up to spoke out for me. I was told that I didn't pay, that it's not fair, and we make a big deal out of everything when there's harder things going on around the world, and that they don't ask American celebrities to do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, why don't you? We've been fighting for 400 years to be heard and fight, and people are just now listening. And even though we're making breakthroughs, people still don't care. So that's being Black in America. We're making a huge breakthrough. People are finally listening, and we're still the ones that are wrong in this.
It's like, how dare you try and be like, there are harder things going on in the world. You don't even know what it's like being Black in America.
Right.
You to be able to say that there's worse things happening in the world. That's like exactly what you said, just diminishing the amount of pain that Black people go through on a daily. You to sit here and be like, oh, well, it's probably not as bad as what I go through.
Exactly.
Like, were we talking about you? I don't even think. When were you invited?
Do you
to
talk about
this?
you?
Right.
Right.
Like,
right.
Do you talk about you?
Where were you when your problem came up? Look, Black people will get behind anything. You got a problem, we are there for you. Where were you when your problem came up? Where was you at?
Exactly. And it's like, you want to be upset, you want to be angry, you want to complain. I understand you're upset. So when I say I understand, I live with you, I'm sorry, teach me and educate me so I can understand, I can stand with you. Let me know what I can do to help. Give me more information. Then suddenly you don't want to talk anymore. Suddenly you don't want to converse anymore. Suddenly you have nothing else to say. You have nothing else to teach. You just wanted to be angry. And you wanted to make it out like I'm sitting here trying to belittle your problem, and I never did that. I never said my problem is worse than yours. I never said, yeah, your problems don't matter. I said the reason people hear more about Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter is a global issue. It's not just American. Black people are treated horribly everywhere. Even in Africa. So I don't understand why you're like, oh, no, it's a global issue. And yes, there are horrible things going on. Yes, the Muslim concentration camps in China is absolutely horrible, and that needs to stop. Yes, that they're killing people in India. They're doing caste system like they're killing like people based off of where they are socially in India. That's terrible. It needs to stop. But no, people aren't.
Why are you mad at us?
Right? Why are you?
Right. What did we do? Wait, like go back. Wait a minute. When did Black people get into? Wait a minute. What did we do?
Because Black people didn't automatically just immediately take
problems
over and just deal with their problems first. Now all of a sudden it's Black people's problems. Like, just because Black people aren't the ones to be the so-called whistleblowers, now all of a sudden it's Black people's fault that this is happening.
Right. So
that goes right with
now all of a sudden Black people are Americans.
Yeah, like
right.
Suddenly we know. Suddenly our problems aren't problems anymore because other people have problems. It's very gaslighty. It's very like, oh, so you don't care about blah 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 blah. What about blah 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 blah?
And it's exactly what white people in America do to us anyway. So it's kind of like, wow, thank you for proving exactly our point.
Exactly. And my thing is, what gets me is the people are still liking his replies to me, his messages. He was going off on me, yelling at me like, you just think you're so much better. I was like, please show me where I said that. Like, please show me where I said that. And they screen grabbed or screenshot it. Screen grab? They screenshotted what I said, and it was like right here. And I'm like, no, that's not what that says. Like, you literally, you rewrote it, and you screenshotted it, and you still purposely misunderstood exactly what I said. And you're talking me in circles to try to find a reason that I'm wrong. And then you have these other people believing that I'm the one that's trying to condemn you when I said, okay, I don't understand. I'm sorry that it seems like, or I gave off the impression that I don't care about your problems. So please teach me so I can stand with you as well. And now you have nothing to say to me.
They can't make if anybody believes their words, they were gonna believe their words with or without
No matter
evidence.
what. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
no way that you can sit here and just not see word, like not know how to read. I guess like you have to. They were always gonna believe their words no matter what. So
that really goes with that all lives matter vibe. Like, you know how like when somebody says all lives matter, they say it with the intention of trying to be overly included in a problem that they were not initially directly involved in,
That has
which we
nothing to
talked
do with
about that.
them.
Right. We talked about this earlier, like the whole like this particular band. Are we allowed to say the name of the band? Are we gonna get like beat up?
I mean, I'm a fan of this group, like a huge fan of
It's
this group.
BTS. We love BTS. All right.
We
So
adore
look,
BTS. Hashtag purple. I purple you, army.
we talked about this earlier about how, you know, they posted what they said and you had this altercation.
Yes.
And on top of your altercation, there's a whole lot of all lives matter army people popping up from the depths of fandom, and they're
Hell.
just like, yep, the depths of hell, which is still fandom, and they're like, hey, we matter, we matter, we matter, all lives matter. What are you talking? Black. What was the exact quote from earlier where the girl was like, oh my god, you sent me a screenshot. It was something along the lines of, you know, black. They always talk about racial inequality, and they shouldn't be forced to talk about XYZ.
Oh,
Number
please,
one.
I'll find it. Give me 2 seconds.
All right. Well, before you read that, I just wanted to tie it into what you said. All things that are bad are bad. All things that are bad that need to be taken care of will be taken care of. It's not a matter of what issue is more important. Because at the end of the day, if it's an issue, it's important. It's not a matter of what issue is bigger, what issue is this, or what issue is that. People are dying. That's point blank, period. People are getting killed. That's a fact. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be stopped. There is nothing like the fact that this person really went out of his way to try and top you on something that he is not directly involved in. If you're not standing with us, if you're sitting here arguing with me, I don't want to talk to you because clearly you're not about what I'm about. I'll support you, but you clearly aren't supporting me because you're trying to cut. Like, how can you imagine being in surgery and the doctor's like, yeah, I'm gonna cut you short, right? I'm supposed to be having heart surgery over here, but this person said, like, I'm gonna go over here, so I'm gonna leave you open and we'll come back.
Right.
That makes sense?
No,
that doesn't make sense. We're gonna handle the stuff best we can. Like, that's just dumb to me. But then I want to talk about the All Lives Matter army, and then we can dip because you gotta go eat.
I found the tweet. I can't find I think the person who started their tweet, the one that argued with me, deleted their thing. I can't find it, or it's just buried in shit.
It's like, don't be okay. I was like, don't be a coward.
I said, he said, I hate that there's so much shaming before they spoke of Americans and their disgusting self-centeredness. I don't think that's how you spell self-centeredness. There's disgusting self-centeredness. Believe foreigners like BTS have to speak up about this, but they never shame any other celebs about talking about foreign issues like Muslim concentration camps. I was like, it's not just an American thing though. This is the type of hate. This type of hate is global. It always has been. It's not wrong to want to be supported by the people you admire. And they go, God, why do you guys keep saying that this is as if this changes anything? The whole point is that we see more outrage because of the issues that happen in America and not because of anti-blackness. Not because anti-blackness is exclusive to America. And I'm just like, then what the fuck was the point? And then they did the whole thing, and I was like, and that's how the argument sparked. And they replied to a girl that says, "Happy? Are you happy now? I hope so. A multitude is stupid. Racism is a problem that existed for hundreds of years, which BTS has been against it and violence for a long time. why does it matter that they say something now? Which to me sounds like, ugh, I really didn't want BTS to say Black Lives Matter. I want to believe that they probably would listen to us instead. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's exactly
again,
what she
like I
said.
noticed before, is just like, are you gonna be hypocritical because like you're like BTS always says something, then I'm mad that BTS actually said something this time. So is it
Right.
just because they said something specifically about black people that you're upset about it? Like, there's not. These are one
Got
seven
their whole
grown
shit
ass
from
men.
us.
Also, this is a whole corporation.
Right.
Then this is like a whole peg in the whole the K-pop system. If they didn't want to say nothing, they
You wouldn't have.
fully do not have to say anything. And
Right,
it's
because
not the
hella
first time that
K-pop groups
K-pop
haven't.
groups right. There's not the first time that K-pop groups haven't spoken out about something that their people feel like they should speak out about. Right?
Right.
Nobody forced these grown men, this corporation, to say anything.
They
Now,
just
Right.
cared.
people can sit here and be like, "Ayo, where you at? We want to hear what you got to say about this because you are influential and famous people, and we always look at famous people to see whether or not they support their fans and whether or not we as the fans are going to continue supporting them." It's just
Right. So
point
not
blank
only are
period.
you
You can't
famous,
get mad at that.
right?
That's
Like,
what's always going to happen. They're always waiting for celebrities to say something. They don't gotta
Right.
say nothing if they don't want to say nothing. They chose to say something regardless. Don't sit here and blame black people for them
exactly.
saying something that you just said that they would end up saying anyway.
And nobody bullied them, like you said. And then BTS, I will say this: BTS was put on by black people. Like they Army Men Out Like That. They had a whole series. What was it called? It was BTS Hip Hop American Dream or something like that. I don't know what it was called.
It was just
Crazy ass
American
show.
Dreams like that.
The American Dream. So where they were studying with black people to learn more about hip hop and how to sing soulfully. Now you could pretend that shit didn't happen, but I got links, bitch. I still watch that shit sometimes when I need a little bit of joy in my life because it makes me laugh. It's like triggers laughter. Cause like it's great, it's wonderful, but they directly
You're
worked
trying
with
to tell
black
me
people.
Justin Bieber didn't invent soul? You're telling me
Right.
Robin Thicke didn't invent soul?
Right. But like, so like they went and they did that. The whole series is based around that. And they're with what? Oh my god, black people? People of color? With melanin and pigment in their skin that reflects brown. Yes, they were with black people. They worked with black
Black
people.
people
They're
really did
influenced and
like
inspired by black people. I'm sorry if that offends you, but they worked with black people. And
black K-pop fans really have like not even just BTS, just K-pop in general, really
Right.
blew it up. And like you can be upset about it, but I don't care. It's the truth.
right, they like they're heavily influenced by hip hop. Have you seen their first album? Their first two albums? Come on now. Like let's not. Even RM had that fake ass perm, bless his heart. He's come a long way. Had that perm in his hair to make his hair curly, cornrows,
Headlocks.
dreadlocks. Sugar had braids for a while, for a little bit in there. Did J Hope have braids? I don't know right now. But they all emulated something of black culture at one point in their life. So for us to want them to speak out to like, hey, let us know you stand with us. Like you grew and changed as people from that point to this point, and we're not mad at you for that. We just need to know that you stand with us.
Like you stand with us as a black people, not what we can give you. Uh,
Okay. Kiara, you have
okay,
anything else
well,
to say?
no, I mean, I think it's just like being black is kind of like a weird sense of constant dysfunction, and it's almost an out of body experience. Like
Yeah.
it's such a strange way of living, knowing that like on one hand, when you're with black people, you absolutely do not remember that you're black, but you also kind of do.
Right. Right.
Then definitely when you're not with black people, you are always constantly reminded about being black and thus how you're supposed to act
That is
as a
that
black
is
person.
really
And
true. I
that's what I
never
mean.
thought about
Like
that.
it's right. It's a constant out of body experience of between being afraid and not afraid and trying to be on your best behavior and then not having to be on your best. It's just consistent change, and
Right.
like trying to walk a trail during an earthquake, like trying to walk on a tightrope while a volcano is erupting right underneath you.
That's a really good analogy, and I didn't even think about that. Because like it's true though, because I didn't realize that I had been doing it. Like when I'm with y'all, I just know that I'm with, and I'm just myself. Like of course now I'm hyper aware of my blackness because it's what we're talking about today. But like
Right.
when I'm at work, I am aggressively aware of how I carry myself because I work with white women. You know,
Mhm.
there's a couple of people of color on staff, but there's like 17 people on staff and only 3 of us are black.
Mhm.
So like most of the time, I'm working with white women, which isn't a problem. I love my job. I love my manager. I love my. There's a couple people who are Hispanic, but mostly white people. So I'm hyper aware of how I carry myself, hyper aware of the way I speak, hyper aware of the things that I say, because I can't be comfortable and say and do the things that are like cultural. I'm trying to make sure that's the right word. Like, or specific to us, because they wouldn't understand it, and they might see it as lowly. It may not be respected.
Right.
So yeah, wow, you kind of blew my mind with that one, sis. I don't know why you blew my mind with that one, but you did. I wonder if Victoria probably thinks about it too. She gonna have to hear it when she edits. So, editing Victoria, you put your meme. If you have a meme reaction, put it here.
Yeah.
Dope. So, yeah.
What's real quick before we end things? What's the next? What's the next episode gonna be about?
The next episode, I don't remember. Victoria has. I can't remember if we're taking a break between growing up black or living in America being black. If we're gonna, I don't know if we're going straight into like the positives and the funny stuff about being black, or if we're gonna take a pause and talk about some other dumb stuff that we talk about.
Well, it's gonna be one of those. So
yeah. Well, this has
just
been
watch the next episode.
Right. This has been kind of wokish. Thank you so much for listening this far. If you got this far, united we stand. Black Lives Matter. Like nobody's saying all lives don't
That's
matter.
on God.
Right. It's like
Not even going. Explain myself. We said what we said, and it is what it is.
like Black
You can
Lives
either be
Matter.
mad about it, or you can be mad.
Let's say Black Lives Matter.
Or you could be racist, or you could be right.
Right. So Black Lives Matter, justice for the Muslim, justice for the Indian people. We all got to stand together. And it's time to stop fighting. It's stop killing. Start loving. As dramatic and cliche as that sounds, I'm sick of seeing people die. I'm sick of seeing my people die. So, and if you're racist and you want to say all lives matter, it's Black Lives Matter. And I said what I said.
And she'll say it again, but not right now.
Oh, I will say it again.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right, bye. It was kind of woke. Bye.